السيدات والسادة الحضور الكرام، أهلا ومرحبا بكم في فعاليات اليوم الثاني من النسخة الأولى للمنتدى والمعرض الدولي الأول للزراعة الذكية والخضراء. أهلا بكم. هنبتدي النهاردة إن شاء الله ونستكمل جلسات امبارح. دكتور علي، حضرتك تحب تقول حاجة؟
شكرا يا داليا. صباح الخير جميعا. بنرحب بحضراتكم في اليوم الثاني للمنتدى الدولي للزراعه الذكيه الخضراء. النهارده اليوم الثاني. امبارح كان عندنا يوم يعني الى حد كبير نعتقد انه كان يوم ناجح. اتشرفنا بوجود حضراتكم وعدد تاني. النهارده طبعا الناس يمكن جايه متاخره، كانت حاجه متعبه شويه، طولنا. اتشرفنا بعدد من القيادات ومندوبين عن الساده الوزراء ومعالي محافظ الوادي الجديد اللي هو محمد الزملوط، ويعني كان الحقيقه برضه عدد من الجلسات الهامه. جلسه رأسها الدكتور عماد عدلي، واحد من اهم خبراء التنميه المستدامه، ثم جلسه حول التعاون الدولي وافاق المستقبل في التعاون الدولي، وفي وجود عدد كبير جدا، حتى يعني كان ملحوظ 10 متحدثين لانهم بيمثلوا منظمات دوليه متعدده ومختلفه. وبعدين الجلسه اللي بعديها استاذنا الدكتور معالي الوزير الدكتور ايمن فريد ابو حديد كان على الامبلمنتيشن والتطبيق الفعلي للانوفيشن والتكنولوجي للذكي الاخضر. فايضا كانت جلسه ممتعه ومثمره. والنهارده عندنا دلوقتي جلسه هيرأسها الدكتور اسامه ريس. على الاول هنسمع كلمه من الاستاذ الدكتور شريف صدقي، الرئيس التنفيذي لوكاله الفضاء المصريه. وهو للاسف الدكتور شريف مش موجود في مصر، موجود في نيويورك في لجنه بيسموها لجنه ايه، الحاجه الفضائيه، حاجه يعني المسؤوله عن الاقمار الصناعيه في الجمعيه العامه للامم المتحده. لكن هيبقى معانا كلمه مسجله. وبعدين الدكتور اسامه ريس هيرأس جلسه مهمه جدا على تطبيقات الاقمار الصناعيه في الزراعه الذكيه الخضراء. وبعد كده بقى جلسه عن الري وترشيد الري واستخدامات المياه. ومعانا الدكتور عباس شرائي هيتكلم يمكن عن حاجه، هيقول لنا حاجه على سد النهضه في هذه الجلسه، والتحول الطاقه الانرجي ترانزيشن والتحول الى الطاقه النظيفه الجديده والمتجدده. دي هيرأسها الدكتور حسين العطفي وزير المواد المائيه الاسبق. ثم الجلسه بقى اللي احنا كلنا جايين لها من بدري بتاعه الدكتور سعد نصار على التحديات الاقتصاديه وقضايا تمويل المناخ وتمويل مشروعات المناخ، وايضا التعهدات الدوليه والكاربون بودر ادجستمنت ميكانيزم والالتزامات وشهادات الكربون، والقضايا اللي يمكن قريبا هيبقى مصر ملتزمه بانها تاخد فيها بعض الاجراءات. دلوقتي كلمه الدكتور شريف صدقي، اتفضل. وبعدين الدكتور اسامه رئيس بعد كده هيتفضل. شكرا جزيلا.
Good morning, Excellencies, distinguished guests. It gives me a great pleasure to join you today in this important conference on Agritech 2024. And first, I would like to thank Dr. Ali Shamsuddin for giving me this opportunity to present the efforts that's being done in Egypt to use space as one of the main pillars for developing precision agriculture and actually in serving the sustainable development goals at large. So I will start now by sharing my presentation, and we start by shedding some light on the various activities in space in Egypt. The history of using space in Egypt is quite long. So it started more than 7,000 years ago with the oldest astronomical site, which is located in 100 kilometers west of Abu Simbel in the southern part of Egypt. And it's composed of a set of stones arranged in circles. And those circles are related to the location of the sun with respect to the earth, and gives an indication for the calendar year and the start of the agriculture season. So this shows that space have been utilized long time ago to serve our essential needs in life, actually specifically for agriculture. The Egyptian Space Agency is the organization in Egypt responsible for all the space activities, and actually it was established in 2018 with the objective of training and capacity building in the field of space technology, with the objective of developing space systems to serve our sustainable development goals and to serve all the community and to make some awareness in the community about space. The Egyptian Space Agency is located within the Space City. This extends over 123 acres, and we are the host country for the African Space Agency. And actually, our objective is to develop the technologies for satellites with different categories, and the level of localization of the technology differs according to the size of the satellite. So for nanosats, for instance, we reached maturity in the localization of technology, which means that we can do all the design, all the onboard programming and the onboard computer, and the assembly, integration, and testing. For the microsats, well, we have an example of the next set that have been launched in February of this year. The localization for this type of satellites is around 40%, where we did the design and the onboard computer and part of the assembly, integration, and testing. And for the larger sizes, the mini sats, we have an experience with MasterSat 2 that was launched in December of last year, 2023, and we have a localization which is close to 20% of this category. The Egyptian Space Agency hosts a state-of-the-art facility for manufacturing satellites. What you see in front of you is the assembly, integration, testing facility that can assemble satellites up to 650 kilograms. In front of you could see the flight model of MasterSat 2 that was launched in December of last year, and it's located here inside the thermal vacuum chamber, which simulates the space environment. In addition to all the essential tests required pre-launch is done in this lab. So you have here the shaker that can hold satellites up to 1 ton. You could see also the electromagnetic compliance, the characterization of the payload, the deployment of the solar panels, and the study of the effect of sun illumination on the payload. We also have a universal ground station that's capable of receiving signals from a broad range of satellites, in addition to a state-of-the-art lab that can simulate the satellite as if it's in the orbit. So it studies all the effect of the electromagnetic radiation of the Earth on the satellite and the different conditions that the satellite is exposed to in space, in addition to all the subsystems of the satellite. I will start to talk now about one of our important missions, which is MasterSat 2, that have been developed throughout the strategic partnership between Egypt and China for developing MasterSat 2 that's with 2 payloads, 2 meter panchromatic and 8 meter multispectral. And as I told you, this was launched in December of 2023. Those are some sample images just to show you the resolution of the satellite. That's an image of Cairo Airport, and you could see here the marks on the runway. It's very, very clear. So you can see, you can clearly identify the marks on the runway. And if we zoom in a little bit, you can see also all the features of the flights here. You could see the engines and all the details. So this satellite is equipped with lots of features. However, this is the way you could see the raw image from the satellite, and we use artificial intelligence to determine the land use and land coverage and do the proper classification. So you could see here the image, the raw image, and then after processing the image with artificial intelligence, you could see that we could determine the agricultural parts, the roads, the buildings, and so forth. Using the multispectral feature of this satellite, we can determine the crop classification. So the image in front of you shows you the extraction of the water bodies, which are the blue parts of the image. And for the various different color grades here, you could see the buildings, which are in red, and the different types of crops that are different shades of green. And actually from the each grade, you can determine the type of crop, and accordingly, based on the crop distribution map, you can see whether this is realized on the ground or not. And that's another example here where you can see the development of the crops over the year. So this is every week we have an image here for the crops, and you could see the development over time of the crops. In addition, if you zoom in and you study the details of the image, you can see if there is any defect or any disease affecting the crops during its presence. In addition, also, we can use the artificial intelligence for determining the change in the land usage. So here are two examples of two images, one taken in 2021, another one in 2023. And you could see the differences, whether there are parts added or subtracted. You can easily determine this by comparing the images over different time intervals. Other applications for the satellite, we could see here for urban development, what you could see the new capital. It's very, very clear the buildings. This is the Olympic City, the Grand Museum, the pyramids, some ports here. So there are lots of features of this satellite that's very, very helpful. You could see all the strategic projects in Egypt, and that's in other different countries also. We have another mission that I also briefly mentioned at the beginning, which is NextSat-1, that was launched in February of this year. And actually, this have a large Egyptian component. We started to assemble this in October of 2022, and it was launched in February 2024. And this is sample images for different areas across the globe. So you could see Turkey, you could see UAE, Egypt, and the Suez Canal, and the new extension of the Suez Canal. And also, we are developing missions for studying the plasma. And actually, this helps in understanding the climate changes and its impact on agriculture. So that's another mission that we are developing, and it will be launched actually within the first quarter of next year. Throughout Africa, we have lots of collaboration with African countries, and a good concrete example of this is the African Development Satellite, which is done jointly between Egypt, Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, and Ghana. And each country have a subsystem, and actually are planning to launch this satellite hopefully by the second quarter of 2025. In addition, we did a remote sensing camera that can help us in understanding lots of areas within Africa, and this again a joint effort between Egypt, Kenya, and Uganda. We have lots of training programs for African engineers. Now we cover more than 23 different countries within Africa, and you could see the uniform distribution across the different regions in Africa, and we covered more than 53 specialists and engineers from those countries. Egypt is the lead of the Arab Space Cooperation Group, and we have lots of international agreements. We have throughout this group throughout the strategic partnership between Egypt and China. We have a project with Bahrain for developing a lunar cam that will be placed on the Shanga 7 mission. Egypt also is the chair of the Committee of Peaceful Use of Outer Space in its 67th session. And actually now I'm in New York presenting the final report of the committee, and that's why I couldn't be able to present in person with you today. We have lots of international collaborations, either in the region or internationally, and we have lots of space awareness programs also that we develop with different countries. And also, I would like to invite you for the New Space Africa conference that will be hosted on the premises of the Egyptian Space Agency in April of next year. And actually, the inauguration of the African Space Agency will be done during this conference. So thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a successful conference. Thank you.